Today, Richard and I roll out of the Bonneville Salt Flats and into the potato that is Idaho. Stay tuned. If you will remember last time, Richard and I camped on the Salt Flats of Bonneville after riding through the desert all day long. Welcome to day 20 of the Trans-America Trail.
All right, Tuesday, Monday. We did 158 miles from the border on the border of Utah and Nevada to Wendover. Took a little bit of a layoff as like I said, 158 miles. Got into the truck stop and the Mexican restaurant out of the heat just to buy some time to get out here to camp on the Salt Flats. Look at that sun. Boom. I'm melting! But awesome night, slept great. Rained 4 drops on us out here.
Well, I got 3 of them, so that's 7.
7 drops. Awesome.
And Lee chickened out again.
Lee took the overwatch position up in the hills. Or the hotel, I'm not sure which. But I don't blame him. You gotta do what you feel safe about.
I do. Not adventure.
His loss,
Not adventure.
my gain.
He's not doing adventure. We were talking about my friend Lee, who had rode in with us to the Salt yesterday, but chose once again to sleep at a hotel. And we were hoping to meet him at the gas station. And Richard rolled in just a little bit early to fuel up and met this guy.
How you doing this morning? It is a great time out here.
Looks like you got a better view.
Oh, we slept great out there, man.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm on a press bike, and they explicitly told me I could not take it out here. So I just sent a video to the PR guy. I was like, I promise I'm 50 feet.
50
Bike's not
feet.
that soft. Oh, man.
Excellent.
I'm Joe.
I'm Richard, man.
Nice to meet you.
We're out riding the Trans-America Trail.
Oh, sweet.
We decided we'd stop here for the night.
Yeah, not a bad place. Hey.
It was really good.
Yeah.
We had
Did
a
it
lot
cool
of
down
fun.
pretty quick last night?
Oh, yeah, and then the wind went super dead.
Oh.
It got hot for about 20 minutes.
Hello.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what's this? And then
Baby.
bam, wind came back like a vengeance. And then it felt great. No problem whatsoever.
That's awesome. Very cool. That's definitely a bucket lister for me. I only started riding off-road about 2 years ago.
All right.
So I've got a Desert X that I've been absolutely jumping head over heels for and doing some desert racing and stuff. And
Good deal, man. I love it. I rode this a couple of years ago on my Tenere.
oh, nice.
And then I had an accident on a bike like this, lost my leg from the knee down.
Oh, man.
So I decided to go a little lighter. I like this bike a lot more, but
Man, I can't blame you.
it's been a lot better. But I've enjoyed it, man.
Oh, that's
I've been
excellent to
riding
hear.
off-road, back off-road now for about 6 years.
Yeah. Oh,
and
very cool.
52 now. I kind of go backwards. You know, you play like a kid, you get an idiot.
Right.
Then you get older and you get on the street, and then you go, no, man, I'd rather be back out there.
Oh, for sure. Oh, that's super cool. So where are you from?
I'm from Memphis.
Oh, okay, no, I'm from Atlanta.
All right, there. My buddy up here, he's from Birmingham, so we're all right there in the same area.
Oh, very cool.
He'll be coming out here in a minute. We're gonna meet up at the store.
Oh, nice. I already sent him a video. I was like, I'm this close. The salt's not that bad, I promise.
I tell you what, if you don't keep a GPS, I'd have tagged this one. If you don't know where you're headed out here, you get turned around real quick. Have a good one, Joe.
You never really know who you're going to run into out here on the Trans-America Trail. But oddly, we did not run into that many Tat riders. We ran into just about everybody else. Lots of interesting people on motorcycles. Well, that is something I've been wanting to do since the first time I came out here. Just always was afraid. The environment's too harsh, which it is. Too harsh. Maybe not too harsh, just harsh. It's harsh, it's salt, it's flat, it's windy, it's hot, it's cold. Actually, it didn't get cold last night. Bike feels weird this morning. Didn't feel like it's nice there, but as you can see, it's just as beautiful. Look. And I'm gonna get a few comments. Probably somebody gonna say, that's not beautiful, that's a chart. Oh, it's a chart. The ubiquitous picture of the salt flats. That's changed. That used to be an ugly sign. That's a relatively new sign. It's a good looking sign. Last time I don't think I had a picture on it at all. Oh yeah, that's a nice sign. They got a nice big stone rack to hold it down. They keep people from stealing it. Because people. Once again, I'm going to sound like a broken record because I talk about these iconic places so much and encourage people to get out here just because I understand so many people passing by this legendary place and never just stopping by or rolling out to the salt or just to the edge of the salt. You got to do it. Ah! Should have been filled up.
Right behind you. Come on, then.
Yeah, I'm giving Lee some shit here, but he just doesn't like camping, and I kind of get it. But man, I just think you're missing out on some of the best part of adventure. If you're not camping, you're missing out on some awesome evenings hanging around telling stories. But if that's not your thing, it's not your thing. I should be more accepting, but that's just kind of the way I am. I like giving people shit about missing out, and Lee eventually bugs out this afternoon, and you're going to see some of the stuff that he misses out on because he decided he wanted to ride pavement rather than sand. And I get the sand part too. I don't really like sand either, but I think Lee dislikes it even more than I do. But as you could tell, the day is shaping up into something really awesome. Not quite as hot, a little partly cloudy, but just a beautiful freaking day to ride through the deserts of northern Utah. And as we roll around the corner here, I notice some turns off to the right and some signs. And I decided to slow down and check out the signs and see what we were about to miss, because this turn was not part of the Transamerica Trail. But I wanted to check out what the significance here was while I was waiting on the boys, and come to find out it's the Transcontinental Railroad, the old rail bed from an iconic railroad that went from one side of the continent to the other. And fortunately for me, I was able to talk the boys into riding down this amazing rail bed full of history. This railroad was a pretty big deal back then. If you wanted to get from Omaha to California, you had to walk, ride a horse, a wagon, or take a ship around South America and up to California. So this was a big deal. And Promontory, Utah is just a few miles away, and that's where the trains met. And they drove the golden spike to signify that the railroad had been finished and each side of the country was now united. Pretty big deal. But this is the actual rail bed here, and occasionally it does something other than go straight across the desert. It takes a little juke, and the juke is basically a bridge that is out, and they've rerouted the trail off of the original rail bed to keep you from killing yourself into the bridge that is out. And I'm talking bridge across little creeks that are dried up apparently. But yeah, very interesting little detour. I think the trail ran parallel here, so we probably only missed the trail a few miles, but easily got back on it. I think it was shortly after this turn coming up here that we reconnected with the Transamerica Trail, so we were pretty much only a couple of miles off, I think. But it was shortly after we turned back onto the Transamerica Trail that we intersected some pavement, and Lee decided that I think he had had enough, and he was going to rejoin us at some point, which I think is a really big mistake because we only saw him one more time, and we were making much better time in the dirt and having so much more fun riding in this paradise in the middle of the desert. And these are the things that you miss out when you don't take the whole trail. And I'm guilty too. I've bypassed several sections of the trail just because it was brutal, and I wasn't getting that much out of it. I just wasn't having fun, and that may be what happened to Lee too. I don't know. I never talked to him again after this. We didn't really communicate while we were riding that much. So unfortunately, I don't know what was really going on in his head. If there's something that we could have done to make his experience better, but yeah, Lee's just not a talkative guy. So, and I'm not really good at getting people to communicate apparently. So. This spectacular section of Utah turned out to be one of the most amazing sections of the whole trip. Very relaxing and rejuvenating. Too bad that Lee missed out.
Difference says an hour and 8. I'm glad I should have had that spun that way.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
that is funny. We're gonna beat him to fucking Twin Falls, aren't we?
Man, that's a great road. I just have to fall back over the dust. Other than that,
Shall we continue?
yes, sir, we shall. Oh, that was fucking great.
That was fun.
He may have got stuck up there.
He may have had to take a shit. We don't know.
Doesn't matter. We were still ahead of you. Tally ho!
You know, I'm not really sure where the magic comes from, but maybe it was just the fact that it was such a cool day compared to the previous days in the desert. Maybe it was the fact that the the landscape was greener, the rocks, the hills, even the flat, straight parts were very appealing. And it's just really odd that I did not realize until we finished this section that, man, this was really freaking great. I had to start navigating as we got closer to town, as the intersections started popping up, and we also descended back into the salt. Yes, we were north of the Great Salt Lake. Dumb motherfucker was just gonna come on through.
This right here, boys and girls, this is why you always wear eye protection when you're riding your motorcycle. I popped the eye by B something. It would have hurt. I like my eyeballs. They come in real handy when we're looking and finding things. I think I'm gonna keep them.
Tremonton, 178 miles. Feel like it's been on a while. 2.6 gallons and a 2.7 gallon tank.
Next time we roll into Idaho, past miles and miles of farms growing the devil's lettuce, and wind up stealth camping in an archaeological site, an old log cabin in southern Idaho. Join us then.
Fisher went to the ground. I'm just hanging in the hammock. Not the best hang, but very effective. I slept almost 7 o'clock this morning.